Hail and Magical Adventures, welcome to the world of Baldurs Gate 3, it's me the Spud King, and I welcome you on my new Barbarian build. Yeah, as you can see, we're picking Karla today. You can pick whatever race you like. Good races for Barbarian will be something like Dwarf, sometimes even Halfling with their luck is fun picks. Half Orc, always nice pick because Barbarians use these big melee weapons and Barbarians got bonus to critical hits, and Barbarians can have advantage on attacks, rolling 2 attacks in one turn, so there's more critical hits when you're playing Barbarian. That's a nice pick, but basically any race can be good for Barbarian. But today we're picking this Karla, and Tiefling is a nice race too. So, most importantly, our build and our subclass. Subclass is not available from the start of the game, and today we will be making Wildheart subclass Barbarian. That's what we will be making. Background Outlander is nice background. It gives you athletics and survival, skill proficiency. That's nice. So ability distribution. Main and most important stunt for our Barbarian is Strange. To jump higher, longer, to throw objects for longer distances, inflicting more damage, hitting more strikes. That's why Strange is important. Secondary attribute is Constitution. That's why we're adding our points like this. We're adding +2 and +1 into main attributes and making them up to 16 points, just like that. Then we're picking our secondary attribute. And as Barbarian, you get this class feature, Unarmored Defense. So you can add your Constitution modifier to your armor class when you're not wearing armor. So our third most important characteristic is Dexterity to add to our armor class. It will be added anyway, and we can go up to 14. And just like that, without any armor, we will have pretty reasonable armor class. Then, last points we can distribute to Intelligence, Charisma and Wisdom in whatever you like. We don't care too much, but most important saving throw will be Wisdom, so that's why we can go and make 12 into Wisdom. Just like that, pretty balanced character, but a little bit less intelligence and charisma that we want to have, but still, that's nice character to have. And we're ready to go into the game. As always, let's hit few levels, because first level Barbarian is not so important, you just go and attack your enemies. So second level we get this Danger Sense, you get advantage on Dexterity saving throws against traps, spells and surfaces, cool future. And Reckless Attack, just like with your bread and butter stuff. Until your next turn you have advantage on attack rolls, but enemies also have advantage against you. So you need to be smart when you're using this. Yeah, you're Barbarian, you get some nice armor class and some nice hit points. If I'm not mistaken, highest hit points possible in the game, it's like for Barbarian. But make sure to use it wisely. So next up we're going to level 3 and finally we're picking our subclass. And for today we're making Wildheart Barbarian build. So it will be our subclass feature. From Tiefling you will get this Searing Smite, so we can use it sometimes as action and bonus action to inflict large fire damage. And Wildheart will get this Speak with Animals action, so you can go and speak with animals, nice for exploration, cool stuff when you play in this Barbarian, you can speak with animals, there's many funny dialogues and other stuff in the game. Most importantly, you get this Bestial Heart feature. You can pick one of the 5 beasts. So Bear Heart will give you ability to heal while you're in rage mode, and as Barbarian you want to be in rage mode as much as possible. And most importantly, you will get resistance to all damage except physic damage. That's cool. And that's very good when you got mage in your party that can cast Stone Skin on you, so you get protection from every damage type. Wolf Heart. While raging, you can use this Howl, and your allies can move additional 3 meters during their next turn. So it's nice, like you go press your rage, you use Howl, and then you go with your allies and attack your enemies. Pretty cool feature, but not very strong one. Tiger Heart will give you this weapon damage. Most importantly, your jump distance will be increased by 4.5 meters, and you can use Tiger's Bloodlust to lash out to attack up to 3 enemies at once and make them bleed. Pretty cool feature. Yeah, Wolfheart, I forget to tell you, all your allies will have advantage on melee attacks rolls against enemies within 2 meters of you. So if you got really big melee party, that's nice subclass. You just basically turn on this stuff and you go like raging melee party. But most of the time you will have mixed party, so that's not very good pick. Elk Heart increases your movement speed by 4.5 meters. This is basically like half of your normal movement speed. Very cool feature. And while raging, you can use Primal Stampede. That's cool feature. So you just rushing forward and you can make many enemies prone. Still, this requires action. It uses your movement speed. Sometimes it's useful, but you will lose some damage. And my favorite that we will be picking today, Eagle Heart. So Eagle Heart gives you ability to use dash as bonus action. As Barbarian, you want to keep rage as long as possible, and rage will end if you want to get damage or being damaged in your turn. So ability to gain this dash is even better than getting additional move speed from Elk Heart, because dash gives you double distance that you will travel. And when you don't need to travel distance, you basically don't use your dash as bonus action. That's very cool feature. And additionally, Eagle Heart gives you cool feature, Diving Strike. If you're somewhere on the high ground, you can jump downwards on your enemies and use this stuff. So we're picking Eagle Heart and let's go. So as Barbarian on these levels, you basically start your fight with raging. You just use your rage, Eagle Heart, just like that. And now make sure if you want to use your dash, use dash over here. It will be bonus action, and rage is bonus action too, so you can't use it on your first turn, but then you can use it. While it's very useful for our Eagle Heart Barbarian. There's no way to demonstrate you over here, but I will advance and show you just in a moment. If you are 2 meters above your target, you can use this Diving Strike, and that's very cool because it's doing nice damage, basically your weapon damage, but additionally it makes your target prone. And when you're dashing, you basically can go into the loop of running around, getting up the stairs and diving with Diving Strike on your enemy, and he will be prone all the time. So it's like cool feature. So your reckless attack. Most important stuff, it will be over here, spellbook reactions, and it can be casted as a reaction. So basically when you're attacking your enemy and you're missing your enemy, it will be prompted as, do you want to actually use your reckless attack and have one more chance to roll. Otherwise, you just attack your enemies and inflict damage. So other cool stuff that you can use as Barbarian, don't forget this dash action as bonus action, and you can use your enemies as weapons. So basically just right click their corpses, press throw, then throw them on your enemies. They will inflict large damage too, and run around while raging. That's like cool stuff. And you don't need to always attack with your weapon. You can basically pick up healthy enemies, throw them at your other enemies just like that with athletics and other stuff, and destroy them like this. Be a real Barbarian basically. But first of all, let's level up and finish our build. So when you're leveling up, you can change your bestial heart, so you can switch stances. That's nice feature. So your like Eagle Heart's not set in stone. If you don't like this, you want to use some different stuff, you want to experiment, feel free to change it. Most importantly, on level 4 we get additional feat. For this type of Barbarian, I'm not recommending Tavern Brawler because throwing is still an action, you can use it, but most of the time you will use your normal stuff like your weapon. So best stuff is to go with ability improvement and to increase your strength, of course, to inflict more damage and hit more often. On level 5 we get an additional movement speed while not wearing heavy armor. We won't wear heavy armor anyway, that's cool stuff, and extra attack. Now we're doing 2 attacks in a turn, and that's when it's a nice idea to start your attacks from reckless attack anyway, because all other attacks will have this advantage. We got racial future. If you play in Tiefling, you get this branding smite, nice future. We as always can change our heart. But let's go to level 6. So level 6 gives us additional rage charge. It's nice, they recharge on long rest, so you can do more fights in one day before going into long rest. And right now on level 6 we get an animal aspect. So what is this? It's basically like passive future for if you pick bear, your carrying capacity is doubled and you have advantage on strength checks. Chimpanzee gives you resistance to falling damage, and if you throw in camp supplies you will blind targets, so you can basically go and throw some camp supplies if you need to, and your attacks against this target will have advantage. Cool stuff, actually very fun to use. If you're fighting in water-based surfaces a lot, if you find yourself in the water, you have movement speed increased by 3 meters and it's harder for you to be prone. Eagle gives advantage on perception checks and dark vision up to 12 meters. elk gives you ability to use this aspect of the elk, and you will use it of course because it lasts until long rest, and it gives 1.5 meters movement speed, so that's like nice passive, kinda active passive feature. Honey Badger. If you're poisoned, frightened or charmed, you have 50% chance to begin raging without expending rage charge. Fun feature, but come on, not too cool. Stallion. Dashing grants you temporary hit points equal to twice of your level, and that's our bread and butter if we're picking this Eagle Heart. So that's like greatest combination. You will use your bonus action to dash every turn, you will get bonus hit points every time, and that's cool feature. So Tiger is nice if you picked this Tiger Heart, because with Tiger Heart you get this bleeding skill, so if enemy bleeds you get attack roll advantage against them, that will be equal to your strength modifier, very cool stuff. So Wood will give you proficiency in stealth, if you're stealthy barbarian, pretty nice stuff, and additionally you can use this passive active feature to add your dexterity to stealth checks. Sometimes it can be useful, but come on. And Wolverine is same as Tiger. If you're picking Tiger Heart, Wolverine will give you ability to maim target, reduce target's movement speed to 0 if you're attacking them while they are bleeding or poisoned. So cool stuff. But for our build, we're picking Stallion. So level 7 gives us Feral Instinct. We gain in bonus initiative and can't be surprised. Very cool. Level 8, we get in resistance to go on difficult terrain, cool stuff for Barbarian, and get an additional feat. We maxing out our strength, we get maximum chance to hit enemies and inflict maximum damage. Level 9, Brutal Critical. When we land in critical hits, we're rolling additional extra die, and because we have a lot of advantage on our rolls, we will inflict a lot of critical strikes, and that's why Half Orc is nice race for Barbarian to add one more dice when you're rolling critical hits. Barbarian level 10 gives us nothing than animal aspect, so we can pick one more animal aspect that you like. And again, for this combination we want elk to get us even more movement speed. You want to run as much as possible with this type of barbarian. Level 11, new class feature, gives us ability to drop below 0 hit points and not be dead. We will be regaining with 1 hit point. Same, Half Orc gets this feature, but different feature, so you can do it 2 times. That's cool stuff. And Barbarian level 12 gives us last feat. So for last feat, while you can go into +2 into Constitution, so you get more hit points and more armor class because you add your Constitution while you are not armored. Another cool stuff that you can pick is Savage Attacker. It will reroll all dice that you roll when you're attacking. So when you land in critical hits, you land in maximum damage possible. So that's like cool feature. We will take it right now. And let me show you this beast in action. So you always want to start your day with aspect of elk. Basically you cast it and this will be your aura that increases your movement speed in battles. And speak with animals is ritual. You cast it in the beginning of the day, so you can speak with animals. And you basically don't need to do anything more. So just go and start your fights. And basically you fight like this. You start with the rage action. Of course, as always, you just basically raging. And your movement speed right now, as you can see, 14 meters. 14 meters is crazy. You can go to the first enemy, use reckless attack on him. This will give you advantage. You'll hit it 100%, and you can use your second attack with advantage because you used your first reckless attack and it has advantage, just like that. And we're rolling for maximum damage because we have this savage attack, so we always rolling more damage. Right now we almost rolled 1 damage, but we rerolled into 12 maximum damage added to our strength modifier for 17 total. That's crazy. So basically fighting stars, rage and go rage yourself. With Barbarian feats you most probably will attack as first one in the round, and with maxed out strength you can throw enemies for long distance. For example, you see this dude, you can throw him, and as you can see, that's 100% hit chance for long distance throw of this imp body. He is just throwed. And we can do it 2 times in 1 turn, of course. And we can use our bonus action dash if we need to travel more distance. So we can travel, as you can see, up to like 30 meters almost. So we can go, find some corpses, pick up corpses, throw them on enemies. If it's big corpses, we can't throw them too much distance. Small corpses, easy for half the map, just like that, and come to our enemies basically. And when you're fighting with enemies, always start with reckless attack if you are not in super danger. And yeah, don't forget, every time we use a dash, we get in this bonus hit points, 24 hit points right now. And after reckless attack, basically just attack your enemies with advantage. You're doing lots of damage, and you got high chance of inflicting critical strike because you're always attacking with advantage. Basically, you're rolling 2 dice instead of 1. So that's your playstyle, but there's some cool features that you need to learn how to do. So what you need to keep in mind when playing this type of build? Always keep in mind your surroundings. Because you can travel large distances, you basically can use a bonus action dash every turn, travel some distances and try to get to high ground. And from the high grounds, use your diving strike just like that. And that's what you want to do, and when you did it one time, you can do it one more time. That's your main strategy to do. Go to the high ground, drop down, make your enemies prone, repeat. And that's very cool, enjoyable and funny style to play this Wild Heart Barbarian. I hope you enjoyed it and you will have a lot of fun in Baldur's Gate 3 with this build. Other builds and other cool videos on the screen right now, and see you in the next guide videos, guys.